Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please, if you have not subscribed, try and subscribe. Today we are doing hovering animation. Let me download some of the icons we need through a plugin called Iconify. So let's do that. I've clicked on it already, so let's allow it to run so that we can download some of the icons that we need for this. So let's click on search. Let's import. Let's search for other icons that we need. Contacts, let's import. Let's search on import. Import. You can see that the size of this is the height and the width is 24 by 24. So there's some icon you will choose that will not be at the same size. So you have to look for the one if you want though, or you resize. So let's choose this. You can see by the downside, you can see the size 24 by 24. So let's choose another icon so that you understand what I'm saying. Let's choose the one that is not 24 by 24 from here. So let's choose this. You can see the size of this is much. Let's import it so you see very much. So let's delete it and choose the one that is 24. You can easily resize it if you want, but it's like wasting of time for me though. So let's choose another one. Let's check the size. This is large too, so let's choose yeah, I think this is 24 by 24. Let's choose just for illustration. So let's do that. So let's click let's draw our frame. You can click on F as shortcut for frame. So let's keep this here. I will try to increase the size of this at least 30 by 30. So let's separate and arrange it. So let's highlight all to make sure that they are all aligned. Distribute vertically and distribute horizontally to make sure they are all aligned together. We can apply auto layout here. Let's first arrange it. Let's apply auto layout to it. Click on a space between. To make sure that this is aligned. Okay. So let's type what we want to use it to work on. I think this size is too much. Let's reduce it. Something like 20. And also change the color of what we are doing. Let's use something like this color. Yes, brown, right? So let's convert this to a frame, because if we not convert it to a frame, there is no how we can prototype it. So it must be in a frame form for it to be prototyped. So let's make it to be in a frame form for it to be prototyped. So you can click Control Alternate G, or you can easily right click and choose anyone, which I have done, instead of using a shortcut. So let's type search here. So let's duplicate to I think let's type message there. This is not in a frame form, so let's convert it to frame. I don't know why it did that, so let's convert it to a frame. So let's duplicate also and type the last one, which is contact. So we can easily, after this, we can easily prototype. Yeah, you can click on the prototype button. Now let's choose our home button, then drag it to home. Instead of on tap, let's click on hovering. Then on the navigation, let's click on open overlay. On the centered, which is the overlay, let's click on manual, so that we can be able to arrange our letter. You can see the letter appeared on the home button, so let's arrange it down so that anytime we hover on top of the button, we can easily see what the button is meant for. So let's do the same thing with all the buttons there. While hovering, open overlay, same thing for each button. Let's remove it. I clicked on inside, now it has appeared. Okay, sorry. Make sure it's centered too. So we'll repeat the same process in every in all the button there. So the same message. What's wrong with this message? Then click on manual. So we are repeating the same process in every of the buttons. So let's try to arrange it. Okay, the contact button is the right up is somehow larger. So when you are doing yours, you can easily reduce it, or reduce the font size. Reduce the font size. So I will not try to align this because of the contact, so that it can appear when we click on the presentation. So but when you are doing this, just for illustration, when you are doing your own, make sure everything is aligned. So let's click on presentation and wait for it to load. So let's allow it to load. I'm having a slow network today, so bear with me. So I'm still here with you. Okay, it has finished loading. Now if you can see, in each button you click, the write up will appear. Let's make it full screen so that you see it. You see, home will appear, search. It's still loading. It has not loaded fully. It's a message will appear, contact message, search button. You see, it will appear to telling you what the particular button does. Do you see it there? So it's one of the things you can use hovering and open overlay and animation to do. So do you see it? So there's another thing I want us to do, which is smart animation. Just a very simple smart animation on the search button. I will still treat on smart animation differently in our next tutorial. I'll be working on smart animation, explaining how it works, for you guys. So this is just a simple open overlay, but let's just do a simple smart animation here so that you can see how it works on the search button. So now one thing about smart animation is this: the objects you want to apply smart animation with must have the same name, with that object or with another object you want it to work with. So let's try and create something out of this. Let's bring it to the front of the ellipse. Let's make sure it's centered. You can highlight on and click alternate V and also alternate H for horizontal alignment and vertical alignment. So just a shortcut for it. We can frame it. So let's try to change the color of the ellipse there. Then change the color of the search button to white. You can click enter to select everything inside that frame. Whenever I click on a frame, you can click enter to select everything inside that frame. So let's change the color to white. Okay, I think it's okay now. So we can duplicate this frame, the search button frame, but first let's rename it to search B. So let's duplicate it. And we also try to resize the one that we duplicated. We try to resize it, maybe to give it 30 the height and width. So let's try and resize it. It's not changing, so I have to click on K. Let's delete it, or let's Ctrl Z to undo some of this. It's not giving me what I want, so I have to click on K to just resize the object together. Let's delete. Let's try to duplicate again. Let's duplicate. It will not still work like this, so I don't know why, but the only way to do this is just to click on K, just a shortcut for resizing. So I resize the button the way we want, so that's the easiest way. Let me zoom it. Okay, let's make it at least 31 in size, the height and the width 31 altogether. So let's highlight everything and make sure it's aligned. So let's try to prototype it now, just to demonstrate. You can see that there's some hovering animation that you have done, so let's just remove it. So let's remove that one too. You can see that it has such. So let's try to drag, click on the frame. Let's make sure it's on the frame. Yes, on the frame. So let's drag it. Very good. So let's click on hovering. You can click on hovering instead of on click, on hovering. Yes. While hovering, then open overlay, the same thing. Then on the overlay you can click on custom. That's manually, sorry. Then you can make this button to be aligned with the small one that we have done before. That's where it will appear when you hover your mouse or your thumb on top of the search button, so it will increase in size. So we can click on add background color, so that anytime we click on search button, the background color of the phone will change. The background color of the phone will change. So we can click on dissolve. So I think we are done. It's just to do the presentation so that you see how it looks like. Okay, let's click on presentation. You have to allow the network, having a slow network here. I'm having a slow network. Okay, it's loading now. The network is so slow. excuse me. You can see, if you bring your mouse to the search button, the color of the phone, let's make it in full screen, the color of the phone changes, and also the search button increases. Do you see the animation? So if you hover on the contact, a name will appear. If you hover on the message, a name will appear. When you hover on the home screen, on the home button, sorry, a name will appear. On the search button, it will increase and the phone color will change. You can also change the color of this phone, but that should be for another day. So this is what we have achieved for today. Yeah, bye bye.